Good promo for this company.
Will is stressed because Tim done activated 2 Buddhas to be printed.
Double Buddha. This one's not started, it's heating.
Bunch of supports. Well, info.
It's good. Is this difficult work?
It's tedious. It's a lot of fucking lightning.
One would say it's about time for a new blade.
Dude, you should have seen Tim's the other day.
I'm glad I didn't.
It was as big as the washer. I don't know how he was using it. Next is gonna have me almost cutting wire on video.
Hell yeah. Bruh, this fucking plastic.
Very goopy.
Yeah. Melty, bro. It's a bit melty.
Will has a system because he definitely ain't struggle like that.
Yeah.
What's up?
So he has some type of system of cutting because
He has a bit more
Every time
experience
I do a
doing this.
cut, I push it in. Or I try to do the cut fast because it melts less, and then you push that part in, and it'll just like pull it apart, I guess.
I was just having an issue with this one.
Yeah, this one's being a pain. Completely different radius than.
I'll probably either end up cutting a bunch of this off, or cut a bunch of this off.
Because the new rear end with the little cut technically goes past this, right? Or do you have to
I
cut?
think it is long.
Or do you have to cut the
I think it's
rear end?
No, I do have to cut the rear end. Also. We'll see.
love the little notes. Epoxy here. Epoxy edge.
Take a gander, Xander.
Tip mark out. That was a good one. One big puzzle.
Oh, yes, sir.
I hope make you break that straight face. It's impossible.
Maybe we use 1 minute to glue 2, 2, 2.
Or run through tips.
Well, I don't have any tips. So I'll just mix it on a mixing board and just spread her. The globules.
I don't have gloves on.
I was wondering why you didn't have them on.
You're the type of kid that
Glued my hands.
With
and then
Elmer's glue?
peel it off. No.
Yep. took the words right out of my mouth on that one.
I ate glue as a child.
No, I'm not surprised, but it seemed like it's like.
I'm just kidding.
Those Hicks boys.
Eating glue. Actually, when I was a child, my best friend and I, we would fucking glue our hands together. We had to leave. She ain't going home, bro. We're gluing our hands together.
There's definitely carbon in my hands.
Yeah, as soon as I put on my gloves, I'm like,
Pins and needles.
feels bad, man. Feels bad.
That's what my poops look.
What did you say?
Eating all them Oreos. Killer whale blood.
The workers, they gonna find you.
Is this what goes on the Street Bandito YouTube channel?
Absolutely. Working? No. Weird stuff. Behind the scenes, that's all.
Glove sticking?
The behind the scenes is actually the work.
Ooh, lying fast.
Get gloopy. Damn, Sandra, when'd you find this? Damn, I thought that was Mueres.
What?
Well, guys, we have ourselves a human clown. If you need one of these, let us know. Rent them for $20 an hour.
Doing parties.
You just hold stuff.
God, this was clamped so well before we brought freaking epoxy to the equation.
Is that so? You think that's really what did it?
Them fire's gonna be photo.
I'm never gonna live that one down.
I like the
Man,
underside of the
man
top.
got the full support. Knees, hips, back, elbow.
I don't know if I can move yet.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes.
Sure. Hey Sam. That's good.
I gotta go forward like half an inch.
Oh, we'll probably have to,
Cut all the
Huh.
way back.
do we
Probably
have
cut all the
a
way
trunk
out.
we could put on this car? See where that lines up?
Yeah, we should just do this all on that car. Just cut that car. So we can like literally like screw this in and not have to hold it like this. We're just guessing upon not even having it.
Yeah.
Is that really what your main concern is?
Yeah. How am I supposed to drive this? It's right-hand drive, right? Tim, I'm not gonna fit if we put seats in the car.
You're not gonna fit?
No.
Are you sure?
Look how close my head is to the cage already.
You just have to wear a helmet. Damn, from the factory they dropped a nut back here and they just fucking glooped over it. They're like, who cares?
You better be lucky. You don't even want to focus.
My other one was like literally down to this.
That
You
is.
should have capped it. Wow, these strut towers look like something.
Hey now. Don't worry about it.
Oh snap.
Does it use the same lugs? No, these use
Sure.
conical.
What?
Do you have conical lugs?
Sure.
Are we really just putting these?
Sure.
Jesus Christ, dude. That's not straight. What the fuck?
She
Stressing
said.
them out. Well, I keep forgetting how long this mic is.
It is like about to poke me.
Good.
Son of a bitch, I know the way.
Oh, hell no. I thought you were about to say, oh, no.
Is carbon in there? What the hell was that?
I don't know what that gloop was, but. So that's it. Epoxied on.
We have quarter.
It is quarter.
SEMA time.
Wrap it up. Next step is going to be doing the other side, making it match exactly. And then we're going to tape and back the back of this so a bunch of foam doesn't pour past there, and then foam this hole, Johnny. Or maybe I'll even just fill it up with a piece of scrap carbon, or we got our rocker panel.
Oh, I thought that was just some board to,
Scrap wood?
yeah.
Disrespect. This is our rocker. It can go right there. Wherever the back of that is, I can't really see it. I even beveled the edge. It's nice.
Oh, well, I guess we'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. All right, so we have our molds all finished. I've gone ahead and like prepped and gel coated the molds, but we actually have a 3-piece mold here where there's a seam along this body line and a seam along this back section too. This back section removes that direction, this top section moves up, and then this section moves out. Obviously with like the dimensionality of it, the part would be caught in the mold and never be released, as well as like the mold never being released from the plug itself. So multi-piece molds are a little more complicated and annoying than regular molds, but not by too much. You make your part and then we'll unbolt it to then release it out of the mold. And you can see I just kind of drilled holes and ran bolts and nuts through them. You can like use clay and do like little key marks, but I found like this method works just fine for me. If you're doing like a really high production part where you're making a lot of them, it would make more sense to do something keyed where you can like throw it together really fast. But for this works great. And obviously we only got, a couple weeks before SEMA, so we need quarter panels. So we're just gonna keep going as fast as possible. You can also see all this green stuff. I use that fiberglass filler. If you watched the FE32 episode on mold making, I explained why I kind of randomly came up with this method. I'm like, it's the same exact hardener as the gel coat, the tooling gel coat, and it also is fiberglass in the filler. So this helps keep a lot of the really intricate details where like laying fiberglass in can be kind of annoying on molds. So it makes the mold process way faster and keeps it really accurate. But we have already set in some stabilized carbon fiber. I keep talking about this stuff, but I don't think you guys understand how great it is. The downsides to it are it's not very good with complex curves where like if it was just a curve in one dimension, that'd be fine. But this curves this way and this way. So if I put a piece of stabilized here, it would wrinkle because the whole fact of like the back half having like a little mesh weave on it, it stabilizes the fibers so they can't turn and get, start fraying or get like ununiformly like set. So that makes it, not very usable for complex curves like that. So all the spaces I can use it, for the very first layer, I'm using stabilized just to make sure like I have exactly 50 inches from here to back there, or like 49. And carbon comes in, you can buy it in a 60-inch roll, but I usually get it in the 50-inch roll. But even with the 60, I would not have enough length to go from there and go all the way out here. So I'm gonna hide a seam behind this piece right here. This also keeps it so the weave is going the correct direction. And yeah, getting the weave in the right direction is like
The biggest challenge?
Yeah, it's not a challenge. It's just something like an extra step that you really got to remember if you're going for that. In our first Z, we were not worried about it at all. We got lucky with some of the pieces. Some of the pieces, the weaves just go in the opposite direction. Doesn't really bother me too much, but with this Z, we're putting a nice V seam down the entire thing. So it'd be kind of silly to put a nice seam down the entire thing and then have one of the parts not continue that same directional weave. So I marked all the stuff on the mold itself. So this is all underneath the peel plot, the PVA and the wax and stuff. So you won't see this big R in the part or anything like that. But we're gonna do 4 layers of regular unstabilized 3K as the final pieces. I'm gonna lay one more piece in here of stabilized. Because the length of this is too long to be able to put a single piece across there. But, so stabilized comes with a little plastic backing. You can peel off. It's really nice because you can write on it. And you can see on the back side, it has like a little tiny fine little lines. And they're essentially just holding the weave together. So you can, I've actually experimented, you can put that side down. You can't really tell. Like even at like a piece like that with this side down in the mold versus the regular side without the little weave, you can't really notice it honestly once it gets wet out with gel coat. But as a rule of thumb, put the weave side on the back section. My gel coat is completely cured, so it's like a little sticky, but not too crazy. So I should be able to lay this in here without too much trouble. That goes
like
in.
Spraying the Super 70 side.
Yeah, it's similar. It's almost like pre-preg, where like, well, maybe even like stickier than pre-preg. But yeah, it goes in without too much issue. You want to be careful when you're laying up into gel coat. If you lay it up and then you want to peel it back up, you have to peel it up really slowly and delicately. With stabilized, you can peel it up without it warping and jacking up the look of your weave. Whereas with like a normal piece of 3K, what we would do to try to mitigate that would be lay epoxy resin in here, like the System 2000 resin in here first, and then lay the, like, so it'll combat some of the stickiness of the gel coat, and then you can kind of slide the piece of carbon on it without it, you know.
Gives you good slippage.
Yeah, without it sticking in one place, and you try to pull up the regular non-stabilized carbon, and it just is a nightmare. So
It's all about the slip.
yeah, it's all about trial and error. We've done plenty of error, but that's how you learn. This is just a car for me to putt around town in. So we're not too worried about it. It's not like some crazy show car. Although we are going to be competing in Battle of the Builders, so come out to SEMA. I'm sure the people that are like building cars for like 3 years, and we're here with a car we're building in 6 months, like, all right, here we go. I actually have one last piece of stabilized carbon that's going to go right in here. Little sticker. Tip of that just got me, Odell. All right, so I'm gonna mix System 2000, wet it in here, and then I'm gonna need your help, Xavier, to lay this bad boy in here. So we're gonna have to jump to time lapse. Here we are a day later, and we have both quarter panels. We'd already previously made this one, which I'm actually going to have to remake. We had a couple problems with the mold, had like cracked. I think I might have put too much pressure, like vacuum pressure on it, and it like pulled in here. It's kind of deformed this little section right here. But also like the weave, mainly I put in the wrong direction. This could be probably fixed with a little bit of gel coat and some time, but I sent a photo to Will and he's like, yeah, oh man, that sucks. The weave's in the wrong direction. I'm like, what do you mean? But yeah, I even marked it. You can't really tell, but before I fully wash it off, I marked it in the mold correctly. I even put like the little stabilized carbon pieces in the right direction. So that's correct, and down here is all correct, but this is the wrong direction. So the rest of the entire car has a really nice V-weave herringbone down the center, and then this is the opposite direction. So we got to remake this panel. But the panel we actually made yesterday came out great. I washed it off, but I didn't get all the
I was about to say, what is
the
that?
clay. This is like high temp clay that fiberglass sells. So you can use it on like pre-preg molds if you have a small little void, or if you have multiple pieces of a mold together. I like to run a little bit in the seam of it so it doesn't like pull vacuum through it and then pull all the resin out of the seam or something like that. Yeah, this one came out great. It needs a little bit of blocking, kind of like the fenders and stuff like that. Like we use gel coat on these panels, so they give us like, you know, a couple millimeters of like
I was
room
just
to
about to
play
ask,
with.
I guess with gel coat, you kind of treat it like body filler.
Yeah, it's like a really thin piece of body. So, like, we could just sand with 320 and clear these parts, and they would look great. But I could also like take 180 and block it and go right into clear from that too, and it'll be really straight and, you know, be a little bit nicer than this. So we'll go ahead and do that. It's easy enough to do. But yeah, unfortunately, I got to remake the other side. But whatever. That's composites.
So that's the life you chose.
Yeah, I did actually pull off the metal door jamb piece. OEM, like the quarter panel and the jamb are two separate pieces. I have it right over here.
I like the fitment. I guess you're gonna, bring out some camber or.
Yeah. I sucked it in just to get out of the way of the quarter panel so it would clear it. But so this was the jamb piece. You can see like somebody had filled with fiberglass filler through. This is usually like a rubber bump stop on 260 and 280s. And they filled it with this fiberglass filler. Look at it.
What?
Yeah, dude, it was sitting on the inside of the rocker. The rocker comes in this way. So it was just globbed in there. Rust repair.
Rough hiding.
Yeah, exactly. That's what most repairs are for rust. But we want to keep this, which is like the floating adjustable door latch. So what I'm going to do is hit these spot welds that I marked with the Sharpie, and then we're going to bond this to the back side of the quarter panel, and like the two holes that these float around are noted in the actual mold of the quarter panels. So we can find those two holes, line them up with the holes here, bond it with a nice solid door latch. Save a couple pounds, probably like 5 pounds at least.
Will you still have to put your knee in the door?
On this one, hopefully not. I would like to, you know, make inside and outside shells of like the hood and the trunk and the doors, but with SEMA being like a couple weeks away, we don't have time. So I am going to use the metal inside shell of the doors, which I can always like trim off later and swap out with carbon ones, because I'm going to be making full carbon doors for 240s and 280s anyways, just like OEM doors. So I would need the inside mold. This will use the same mold as that. But yeah, so for time's sake, we're going to use metal insides of the doors. Inside of the trunk, I have two separate trunks. The trunk from her car, actually, from Mariah's car. We're going to use the inside section, take the outside skin off, bond our carbon skin with our spoiler and everything like that, bonded into it. And then I'm thinking I might do the same thing with the hood. We're, 80% through, but again, we only have a couple weeks for SEMA, so we gotta really keep pushing.
And one big note, make sure you stay hydrated.
Yeah, Liquid Death, sponsor us.
This man
We
is
haven't
a
contacted you at all.
Liquid Death addict.
I got one a day, all right? It's my time. It's my little treat, little water. Look, it's naturally flavored, and it's only got 20 calories for this entire can, and it has How many grams of sugar is that?
Whatever it is, I guess
4 grams of sugar.
that's his secret
That's it.
to staying jacked, as
Yeah.
people have been saying.
Exactly. Liquid death. That's how. You don't need to go to the gym. Nothing. Don't watch your diet. Just drink liquid death.
Terrible advice.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Well,
But yeah, so we're gonna go knock out some doors and some rocker panels in the next episode. But until then, we're out.